I've made it a practice to try to not talk about my extracurricular activities as they pertain to professional stuff that I'm trying to launch because they often get blocked. My efforts and my forward moving trajectory often gets blocked or somehow canceled when I try to do anything these days to earn money or income or to do something professionally related. And when I say earning money, I don't mean dealing drugs or standing on a street corner trying to sell my talents. I've never done that, and that is not something I will ever do. When I talk about making money, I mean exploring opportunities that are legitimate and that are in alignment with my education and my professional training and career track. One of the things that I started doing in my 20s was to participate in beauty pageants and swimwear competitions. And no, I don't mean strip clubs. I mean legitimate swimwear competitions that are basically, in alignment with sports activities, not pornography. So I did a lot of pageants, swimwear competitions, which is basically like aerobics, sports-based athletic competitions where you show off like your six pack and your toned triceps and things like that. And one of the things I can still do these days fairly well is clean up nicely enough to take good headshots and to send them into casting companies. Not that I've done any commercials or anything like that, but I did do some modeling gigs like 20 something years ago, back before I turned 50. And this right here is a headshot I took a few months ago at the beginning of the winter. I had actually just started my job, my part-time retail position, and I can't see. And so for me to do my makeup, I have to take a lot of selfies and see if my makeup is smeared all over my face or if I don't have crazy clown makeup. So this was a selfie that I took on my way to work one day when I was trying to make sure that I didn't have crazy clown makeup on. I didn't have crazy clown makeup on, and it actually turned out to be a fairly decent selfie that I've turned into a headshot for casting calls. Have I done acting in the past? Yes, I have. I've actually done quite a bit of acting, but that was in the 90s, again, before I turned 50 and when I was still young and cute. I am no longer that young and cute, but this is what I look like as of, this was like November or December 2023, so a few months ago. And it's not so bad for 51. I'd have to say, back when I was, turning 29, I was fearing 30 and thinking that 30 was like the oldest you could possibly get. It was like turning 30 was like the worst thing that could possibly happen to a good person on this planet. And I never in a million years would have thought that I would have looked pretty much the same at 50 or 51 with a few more, flaws, let's say. So things are not quite where they were when I was 30 in terms of facial structure and all that, but it's still not as bad as I would have thought. I don't look like a granny, let's put it that way. So this is a headshot that I use, and I just tried sending it to a casting company. And of course, it wouldn't go through and the email wouldn't send. And then I had to, and then the email address I was trying to send it to from the casting company directly, they're the ones who sent me the email address. It was suddenly an invalid email address that wouldn't work. So I tried it again on my other phone because I do have two smartphones, and it worked on the other smartphone. So what do you know? Once again, my efforts at earning money and launching professional endeavors and pursuing things that are along my career track or along my professional experience get blocked whenever I try to do these things in the privacy of this apartment on my smartphones, either of them. I have two smartphones. And that's why I have two smartphones, because again, sending this headshot to a casting company on the smartphone I'm actually using this to film this right now didn't work. And again, the email wouldn't send. The attachment was suddenly too big. The email address I was trying to use was suddenly invalid. And then when I switched phones, lo and behold, this headshot was suddenly able to be sent. It wasn't too big to send over Gmail. And the email address I was trying to send it to turned out to actually work. Same email address. So I keep saying that my phones have been hacked and that the Greenville Group is using the services under the table, presumably, of a notorious cybercriminal, sex offender, psychopath, and psychotic stalker named Jasmine Irizarry. Or maybe Irizarry is doing this on her own. I don't know. But all I know is that every time I try to send in a resume, an application, put in documents for, employment, send in headshots, things like that, none of those attachments get sent. Sometimes they bounce back. Sometimes the attachment can't be attached for some strange, mysterious reason. Sometimes a regular headshot that I took with my own smartphone that is not a giant file suddenly is too big to be sent. But then when I try to send it again on another phone, it works just fine. Do you see what I'm saying here? Nothing that I do works in terms of attempting to launch professional endeavors and start professional projects and participate in activities that would bring me income, because someone here at the Greenville Group or associated with the Greenville Group does not want me to get any income. They know that if I did, I would sue the pants off of them for being a completely criminally negligent slumlord, refusing to make any repairs in this apartment unless forced to do so by a lawsuit from the city of Boston, which is happening right now. That's the only way to get maintenance in here to make any kind of repairs, is when the inspector is literally cracking the whip over them and forcing them to come up here and fix things. In the meantime, when I try to apply for anything professionally, work related, even just research projects or casting calls and things like that, it doesn't go through, and I have to try 5 or 6 or 10 times, or use my brother's laptop, or try to use my sister's computer, or use a friend's device to launch the same application that I try to do on my phones, which when I do on my phones gets blocked, but then when I try to do on other people's devices, it works just fine. So have my phones been hacked? Both of them? Absolutely. Is somebody trying very, very hard to prevent me from participating in any kind of professional project or career-related endeavor or money-making opportunity? Yes, they are. And it happens every single time I try to do anything on either of the smartphones when I am sitting in this unit. That's why I have to go to office centers to try to get my professional work done, because when I'm in an office center, the same blockages that happen when I'm sitting here trying to do stuff on my phones doesn't happen as often, because there's a distance factor with respect to me not being in this building where the same cyber criminal, hacker, psychopath, and sex offender named Jay Irizarry is literally breathing down my neck every moment of every day. And she likes to let me know that by smacking the wall behind my sink, by filling this corner with fumes, by using some type of remote controlled tasering device to zap me when I'm doing things that she has a problem with, or simply she lets me know she's around by remotely disabling my phones for no reason and preventing normal size attachments and job applications and emails from being sent. That's how you know you're dealing with a psychotic cyber criminal and stalker, and that the Greenville Group and the Boston Police were spot on when they said that that's exactly what she is. Anyway, this headshot was sent to the casting company using my second phone, my backup phone, because sending it with the first phone suddenly didn't work mysteriously. But, that's why I have 2 phones, folks.